Sieg's a couple of practices, morning skates in now. How does it feel to, first of all, how does your foot feel?
It feels good. There's still a little bit of pain, but I think that's normal. It's been 6 weeks now, and I feel ready.
In that moment, did you know it was broken when that happened?
I stepped on my foot again, and then it didn't feel right, so I knew something was wrong there.
And what was the recovery like for you? Obviously, no athlete likes to be out, and you have that surgery, just that recovery. What was that like for you?
As I said, it was 6 weeks. I started walking about after 10 days. First of all, it was hard the first couple of days. Just walking on crutches, couldn't move a lot. So I was pretty excited after those 10 days to just get moving again, just in the gym. And I think the last 2 weeks I've been on the ice, which felt pretty good as well.
Was it sort of a progression on the ice for you? And then you say it does hurt a little bit now, but is it at that threshold where you could play if you were called upon, right? Like we push through that type of pain?
Yeah, 100%. As I said, it's not a lot of pain, it's just a little bit, but I feel ready. I feel good on the ice. I'm excited to play again.
What is that emotional toll that it takes on you being out that long, though?
Yeah, it's honestly, it's kind of weird if you come to a rink, but you don't see the guys very often because you come in at a different time, and you come watch the games. You're there, but you're a little bit outside of the team, which is kind of weird. But now I'm back in the team again, and it just feels good to get together with the boys.
And just to be coming back into the lineup potentially tomorrow or whenever it is, to see the trajectory that the team has really been on these last couple games, last couple weeks. That has to feel really encouraging, even though you weren't playing in those games, to see that traction start to be made.
Yeah, 100%. Because I watch enough games those 6 weeks, and I've been paying attention to details, to stuff what we switched, and I want to make the transition as smooth as possible whenever I get the game, and I've been watching those details, and I think I just want to go with the flow with the team and just keep winning.
Unfortunately, couldn't play in the outdoor game, but to be there to sort of experience it, can something like that, especially with the victory, be a real good rallying point for the season, for the team going forward, knowing where you guys are in the standings and having to make that chase? Can you sort of use that as the...
I think so, I believe in it, because it's been a long day on Saturday, and it took so much effort to get the outfits, to decide as a team what we're going to do, and just even the practice was pretty special, and I think those moments you bond as a team, and I think it kind of gave us a boost as well. I think those moments helps for sure.
Tyler, you've been in the league long enough to probably understand rallying points of a season, big momentum shifts in a season. Can what you guys experienced the other night, playing outdoors, the way you guys won, as a real shift in momentum for your season, particularly given how you've been playing leading up to that point?
Yeah, I think honestly, I've said it before, just coming back from the bye week, it was almost like a reset, refresh for us. I feel like our game's really taken a turn since then, and obviously the other night was a lot of fun. We found a way to win against a team that we're chasing, and it's one of those things where we kind of have to try and put it behind us now. There's a lot of emotion that went into it, and a lot of energy, a lot of time. Everything was, our routines were different. We kind of have to just get back to what we've been doing and go on the road and win another big game against a team that's not far behind us.
What's the emotional shift maybe you've seen in this group, whether it's the atmosphere over the last couple of weeks since the return from the bye?
It feels like there's just no panic. There's, there are little breakdowns that are obviously going to happen throughout games. We're playing against the best players in the world and some really good players, especially as of late. And it feels like there's no panic. We're tightening things up in the D zone, and obviously we're getting big saves at key points in the game, and we're not ever counting ourselves out and just finding ways to stay with it and finding ways to win.
What's the biggest challenge, handling what's coming up tomorrow with Washington? You talk about those real important points right now.
Yeah, I mean, it has been easy. We've been playing a lot of hockey. We got another 4 games this week, and I think we just have to find a way to stay with it and grind these games out. Like I said, it hasn't been easy, and it's been a grind, but that's what this time of the year is. It's a grind. You got to find ways to get through and find ways to win games. They're going to be tight games, and just stick with it and stay with each other.
I'm sure the answer is quite obvious, but when you start seeing that injury list get shorter and shorter and shorter, especially when you guys are playing well, that has to also be another level of boost.
Yeah, no, it obviously helps. It's great seeing the guys back on the ice, having more bodies on the ice. You can stay out and work on things a little more. That definitely helps. So the healthier we get, the better it's feeling, and feels like everybody's trending in the right direction here.
I'm from Slovakia, so I would like to ask about Šimon Nemec. How is he? So 2 comments about him. How is he as a player, as a teammate, Šimon Janky?
Yeah, no, he's great. I remember playing against him the World Championships this past summer, and I remember seeing him out there, and obviously before he even got traded here, and thought he was a really good player. Played hard and did everything the right way. He didn't have any flaws as an 18 or 19-year-old, however old he was at the World. So he's come in here. I knew a little bit about him. He had a good training camp, and as soon as he got the call, he looked like he fit right in. And he's obviously been playing unbelievable and playing really big minutes for us.
When you look back to your first year in NHL, what is like the most important thing for the rookie in this league?
Just trying to stay consistent. It's hard. It's obviously a lot different coming in as a defenseman. You're playing harder minutes, and it's definitely not easy task against some of the players that he's been matched up against. So he's been doing a great job, and it's been a huge boost for us.
We have Nemec here and Slavkovský in Montreal. Both markets, they're completely different. Can you compare it, the life of hockey player in New Jersey and in Montreal?
Yeah, I think in Montreal, obviously, you're under the spotlight a lot more, and you're definitely recognized a lot more. And it's one of those things where you definitely have to pay attention to what you're doing off the ice just as much as you are on the ice. So from what it sounds like, the guys that I've talked to in Montreal, it sounds like he's been doing a really good job. And obviously, you look at the things he's doing on the ice, he's doing some really good things right now.
You know how it is to win the cup. When you look on this team talent-wise, what is it lacking? It has all the talent, but when you compare it to the LA team that won the cup, what is this New Jersey squad lacking?
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely different team, different style of hockey just in general. So like you said, we have all the talent. It's just a matter of bringing it all together, playing together as a group, and like I was saying earlier, just finding ways to win games. Not every night's going to be a blowout or every game's going to be tight when you're coming down the stretch and in the playoffs. So you just got to find ways to win those games.
Lindy, another practice today for Jonas Siegenthaler has to be very encouraging. Just talking to him, he said he feels really good. What are you sort of seeing from his practice sessions right now?
Yeah, no, now he's got a couple practices in him and available to play. So, I think we'll look at him for tomorrow's game, getting back in.
And John Marino just sick today? Is that the...
John is sick, but we'll make the trip.
When it comes to a game like you guys had, the outdoor game, the way it all came together, the way you guys played, can you sometimes, in your experience, use a certain game as a real propelling point, or is it more the build-up in terms of how you guys have been playing up until that point?
I think it's both. I think the build-up was good. We played well going into that point. I thought we played a solid game. We got a great game in net from Nico. Your ability to put that game away now and move on and play good, consistent hockey. You got to focus on our next game, and we know that the previous game doesn't mean a lot if you don't follow that up with a good effort.
Okay. What's the game plan for Nolan Foote?
He's just starting to get into practice, so today he helped us out playing a little bit of defense, and we'll get him back in the flow, and knowing that we don't have a lot of practice days. If you look at the schedule for this week, pretty heavy schedule, and but he'll practice with us, and it's been a long time off, and we'll get them up and running.
I asked about that 4-6 just wrapped up, 4-6 again coming up. So these practice windows are limited. How did you feel like you took advantage of having the opportunity to practice?
Well, good. We used yesterday as a day off after a real late night, and it was a long day when you look at the outdoor game. It was a great day, but it was a long day, and everybody pretty well had friends and family, and so enjoyed yesterday's day off, and probably had a longer practice than we've had all year, but tried to take advantage of the time we had to work on a few things.
Are you able to share what Nolan's injury was, or if he had surgery?
Well, I haven't been sharing, so I'm not going to share now.
I would like to ask about Šimon Nemec. I'm from Slovakia, so maybe what do you think about his performances and development so far this season?
He's played very well for us. I think that overall he got the opportunity with the injuries and stepped into the lineup and played really good hockey. And probably one thing you got to get used to is the grind of playing a lot of games in such a short period of time and playing against high-end NHL players. But he's handled everything very well. Played well defensively. And we've been using him on our second power play, and I think for a first-year defenseman, he's got himself in a good place, but just to continue to learn and grow.
Your old teammate from Buffalo, Craig Ramsey, the Rammer, he knows him very well from national team. Have you maybe consulted anything with Craig?
I have not, but I've told Simone a couple times. I've threatened to call Craig. And make sure that you got to keep playing well, or I will call Craig, and it just brings a smile to his face because I think he's got a lot of respect for Craig and played for him. So Craig was a good teammate of mine, and I wouldn't hesitate probably.
Craig is really popular in Slovakia. He even has a book, memoirs of him in Slovak language after the Olympics. So maybe could you tell some, how was he as a player for Slovak readers? Because he's, really famous in your country.
He was, I played with him in the early 80s, so he was probably one of the best two-way players I've ever played. Really understood the game defensively. Probably one of the smartest players I was around. And I think when you look back at his career, he was an important piece there playing in Buffalo, and that's how he was used. He could score, but at the same time he could defend against some of the best players in the league, and just a wonderful man.
He didn't miss a game. He has the long series without missing a game, and he really is wonderful. Everyone loves him in Slovakia.
Yeah, well, he's an easy guy to love. He's an easy guy to love, and he's a guy that, I stepped in as a rookie, and he was one of the veteran guys in the team. Probably, Craig was probably in his 7th or 8th year when I stepped in. But you have to have good mentors when you step in as a young player, and I was around some good ones, and Craig was one of them. There was Jim Schoenfeld and Craig Ramsey and Don Luce and the likes of those guys, and I got to give those guys a lot of credit for getting my career in the right place, and really how to act as an NHL player and as a person.